I cannot help but scream, oh my god. I made this creamy egusi soup in a different way and I thought to share. Egusi soup is the simplest soup you can ever cook. You can cook it anyhow you want and it will still come out delicious. So let's begin without any further ado. Now we're heading over to the soup. Into the pot, added oil. When it became hot, I added seasoning and then I'll saute onions. Normally I'll start off by pre-cooking or steam cooking the protein, but the proteins were already steam cooked, so I went over adding pepper into the oil, right? And then I will stir this and allow the oil to fry into the pepper. I'm gonna fry this as if I'm making a proper stew. Now I'll stir properly to combine. Make sure that the oil has surrounded the pepper. Allow it to fry for up to 10 minutes. Like here I covered it for 10 minutes and as you can see, the water from the pepper has fully dried off and you can see just the oil floating on top of the pepper, right? This pepper is a whole lot. If you can't tolerate pepper, please use the quantity that you can. Okay, after allowing the pepper fry into the oil, I introduced a bit of crayfish, allowed it to give a kind of texture into the oil. I introduced ogiri. The ogiri is very optional. Okay, like I said, I'm making this soup differently. You can do away with the ogiri. Now I will stir together and allow everything to combine. Introduce a bit of salt and then I will stir again to combine, and it's time to introduce the melon seed. The melon seed was grinded or blended into powder, then I added into a bowl, then I dissolved with water to get this kind of puree, right? Then I will introduce it into the pot. This is what makes it creamy, right? If I was going for a lumpy egusi soup, I will not be using this method. I will use a thicker version of this puree. Then I will stir into the oil, cover and allow this to cook into the oil until the water in the egusi has dried off. I'll be stirring this from time to time to avoid the pot from burning. You know that egusi burns as fast as your finger can tell, right? So from time to time, you make sure that you're stirring on the pot. After stirring, I will cover it up again to simmer for up to 2 minutes and then I will stir again. Please keep stirring, otherwise your egusi will burn beneath your pot. I want to use this opportunity to welcome you to 426 Kitchen. If you're new here, you're welcome. How are you doing? This is the right place. You can learn how to make any Nigerian dishes. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Okay. Now, after frying the egusi into the oil, I introduce the protein. Then I introduce stockfish and I introduce dry fish. I introduce the stockfish now because it is not difficult. The dry fish as well is not difficult, so they all have the same cooking time. But if I was using a tougher stockfish, I will steam cook it with the proteins. After introducing the stockfish, I will stir properly to combine. I'll then introduce crayfish. If you're new here and you think what we do here interests you, right, head over to the channel and hit that subscribe button. Turn on your bell notification so you'll be notified each time we post a new video every week. And for my returning subscribers, thank you for always stopping by. I appreciate your presence here. Thank you for your share. Your contribution has brought us this far and we're not taking it for granted. Thank you. Cover the pot and allowed it to simmer for 15 minutes. And when I opened up, I'm going to introduce more crayfish. Now, like I say, whenever you're making any kind of Nigerian dishes, right, make sure you're giving it the adequate crayfish that it deserves. Nigerian dishes, soup in particular, love a lot of crayfish. So after giving your crayfish, at a point you will give seasoning and salt taste to adjust with any lacking ingredient. At this point, the taste I was going for was perfect here, right? I'm going to introduce periwinkle and I will stir together to combine. Like I always say, periwinkle had already been cooked. You don't need to cook it a bit longer, okay? It's done, it's already been pre-cooked. So after adding the periwinkle, I stirred together to combine. And it's time to introduce bitter leaf. You can decide to use okaza leaf or uziza leaf for this particular soup, but because it's gonna be a creamy egusi or melon soup, I prefer to use bitter leaf. So after introducing the bitter leaf, I'm going to stir together to combine. Make sure that the egusi has received each particle or any particle of the bitter leaf. Stir together to combine. Can you see the creamy egusi soup? What swallow do you think you can pair with the soup? Let me know in the section. Now, after stirring, you're going to cover and allow this to simmer for up to 2 to 3 minutes, okay, to make sure that the bitter leaf had released its own taste into the soup and your creamy egusi soup is ready. And if you've watched up until this time and you've not subscribed to the channel, this is the right time for you to hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so you'll be notified each time I post a new video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section as regards the soup. And right here, let me also know the swallow you'll be pairing with the soup. And here is after the light has gone off, right? This is the outcome of the soup. Will you be trying the soup? Let me also know in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Till I meet you in my next video. Do have a pleasant day. Bye-bye.